So, yeah. Look, I know tonight's game, okay, we don't really have too much to talk about other than the fact that, it's against Buffalo, so you can't take a whole lot of excitement in a win like that, right? But at the same time, championship level teams, elite level teams find a way to get themselves back into it when they've fallen asleep at the wheel, all right? It happens. It's an 82 game season, right? Some of these teams, you're going to hit a wall eventually. There's a moment in a back-to-back maybe or whatever where you're just dog tired, right? Leslie knows what it's about. She's been watching, right? Sometimes teams hit a wall for a night, and that's what happened. 5 shots? 5 shots only in the first period for Toronto? One of the most offensive teams in the league right now. You know what I mean? In terms of shots on net and dangerous shots and all that other stuff. They got 5 shots in the first period. That's horrible, man. That's horrible. Now, I know they scored on their first shot of the game, if you want to call it that, right? So that's a bit of puck luck right there for that goal. The second goal as well, too, was also pretty lucky, right? Thanks, Leslie. Leafs had a lot of puck luck tonight. If I'm being honest, they probably didn't deserve the win as much as other nights. You know what I mean? That's not to say they don't deserve the win at all. If you get a win in the NHL, I don't care if you fall butt backwards into it, okay? I don't care. If you win in the NHL, you deserve the win. So the Leafs deserve the win, but I'm just saying that, they had a lot of puck luck on their side tonight. They had a lot of hockey gods smiling upon thee tonight. You know what I mean? Ooh, they got away with one for sure because they were flat in the first. They couldn't really generate a lot of offense as the whole thing went on. And then when they got their chances, things just kind of went in. You know what I mean? And they didn't quit. They didn't quit on it, Yeah, that's right. So the first goal against Toronto was kind of a soft one for Wall there, right? I know it's his first time in. It's his first time in, so I'm not mad at him or nothing like that. I wouldn't blame him necessarily, but this goal is his fault in the sense that, you know what I mean, the puck goes behind the net and he's down, and he just waits to see what happens. He needs to know, hey, if that puck goes behind you, it's going to bounce out on the other side somewhere, so you need to start moving over. You need to start moving laterally over to the other side of the crease before you even see the puck. Don't wait for it, right? Don't look. You know what I mean? Just feel it and go. He might have thought the puck was underneath them or something like that. I don't know what happened there, but he was definitely way too slow getting across to the other side until it was too late. Then all of a sudden he had speed of lightning and he almost caught up to it. So really there's not really, you know what I mean, a lot to be said about that goal other than the fact a little bit more experience, you know what I mean, and something like that won't go in. He just needs a little bit more experience of dealing with those rebounds and stuff like that. And yeah, you know what? He looked good at times for sure. He looked good at times. So, and the Leafs kind of need to know, right? I'm sure they did. Hey, there you go. I'm sure the Leafs did know that they have to play a little tighter in front of them as well, too. One of the other goals that Buffalo got, again, they left somebody wide open in front, just wide open. You can't do that, man. I think it was Liljegren. He overcommitted and ended up going towards the back of his net. You know what I mean? Dermott was already in the corner battling for the puck, and Liljegren sacrificed the front of the net. Maybe he thought Dermott was going to pass it around the backboards to him, but he needs to be sure that Dermott's got he's got possession before he makes that move. And even then, sometimes you got to let your D-men just battle it out, protect that net, even if they do get the puck, right? So a little bit of a slip up there, you know what I mean? So there was some loose stuff. There was some loose stuff that really just should have got the Leafs in a lot more trouble than it did. Puck bounce on the Riley goal. You know what I mean? Beautiful tip from Tavares, though, on that power play goal. Oh, man, I love to see that stuff, because that's the stuff. Okay, so let's talk about that goal for a second, okay? So Tavares gets that tip in front, right? I wish, Tavares has got that stick. There we go. Tavares has got that stick held like this, though. It's like this, something like that. You know what I mean? I think he's a righty. I forget now. But basically, he's got it angled so that if it does make contact here, it's going to bounce upward. And if it somehow gets the underside, it's still going to bounce in a different direction. He's got it angled, right? It's not a flat blade. He's not holding a flat blade up in the air, right? He's got that stick going, right? And that's what you want to see. That's how you tip those things in. Those guys practice that. You know what I mean? They practice that. And Tavares figured out a way to get it done and angle that shot in nice for that nice tip. And here's the thing that bothers me about that, though, is that Riley's initial shot will not be considered an expected goal. Right? In the stat columns, their new stats and everything that they keep track of. Riley's shot is determined to be a low percentage success shot, right? They're measuring only if that shot would score, which I think is kind of lame, right? Because you're doing that on purpose. You're putting a shot in an area where your teammate might be able to tip it. And if they miss, it's still considered a screen, and an untouched shot could still score as well, right? So it's a dangerous shot to take when you got everything lined up like that. And the stats don't reflect it. They only reflect it after the fact, where if it goes in, they'll say, oh yeah, see that tip in from Tavares is an expected goal because it was tipped after a shot, redirection, you know what I mean? Then they consider that shot from the point. But if that doesn't go in, there's no stat that shows that that was a good choice from Riley. And I don't like that, because that's a good choice from Riley. Whether it goes in or not, that is a good choice from Riley. So let's see that in the stats. I mean, again, maybe I don't know all the stats. Maybe there's some calculation out there that does give Riley credit. But so far, from who I speak to, from all the people that come around me with stats trying to tell me that I don't know about the game, all right, they can never answer that question without saying either I don't know, or they say no, it's not considered a dangerous shot. And it should be. It should be. That deserves credit. So there you have it, man. I mean, again, could have gone really sideways in a hurry. Could have gone really sideways. But it didn't. You know, the Leafs had a 2-goal lead twice and ended up in a tie game situation. I mean, the Leafs of old, right, wouldn't have the maturity to pull themselves through that. Right? The Leafs of even 2 or 3 seasons ago weren't mature enough to deal with that kind of pressure. And that would have been a nightmare situation against a team that hasn't been doing well, that just lost Eichel and all that stuff. You know what I mean? You know? Because of COVID, there's not enough people in the stands like there normally would be. So there's not as many Leafs fans as there normally would be in a situation like that. I mean, there's all kind of weird signs that could really tip the scales to make it look like an embarrassing loss for the Toronto Maple Leafs, right? I mean, that's another question to you in the chat there, everybody. Like, if the Leafs lose this game tonight against Buffalo, how crazy are the newspapers and stuff going, or the internet articles and everything like that? How crazy are all the sports fan pages, the Leafs fan pages going tomorrow? You know what I mean? I want to know, right? How many people would you see as calm as me, right, Leslie? If the Leafs lost this game, right? I want to see it. I bet you they would have gone pretty crazy. They would have gone pretty crazy tomorrow. And all their videos and tweets and everything else like that if the Leafs lost that game tonight. And I don't really see why, you know? Again, you're not going to always get streaks of wins, right, Leslie? You're not always going to get streaks of wins. But sometimes you do. So sometimes you get 2, then you lose. Then you get 5, then you lose. Then you get 1, then you lose 2. Uh-oh, right? But no reason to freak out. You see what I'm saying? Like, you just roll with it, man. You roll with it. It's a back-to-back game. There was plenty of excuses that the Leafs could have had if they lost. And any other city, any other team in this league, most of them, I'm sure maybe not Montreal and stuff, but lots of other teams in this league would have had plenty of sympathy for the fact that it was a back-to-back game, that their starting goalie wasn't in net. All kinds of stuff, right? All kinds of stuff. But if it happened to us, if it happened to Toronto, it would have been, the Leafs need goaltending depth, or they're going to lose the cup for sure. They might not even make the playoffs unless they find another goalie that can step in when Mrazek's hurt. It would have been something like that. It would have been something like, Leafs need to start on time again in the first period. Like, oh my goodness. And yeah, that's true, but you still came away with the win. So, you know what I mean? It's funny how it goes, right? One little goal, one way or the other, and all of a sudden it's either Meltdown City because they lost, or nobody says nothing because it's a win. So, you know, it's tough being a Leafs fan. You know what I mean? A real Leafs fan. It's being tough. It's tough for us, right, folks? Right, Instincts? Right, Leslie? They would be going crazy, which is stupid because Buffalo beat Edmonton yesterday. Yeah, exactly, right? Where's Human on that? Where are you, Human, huh? Huh? You guys didn't even beat Buffalo. Huh? Where's the comments now, son? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Well, that about wraps up what I'm thinking about it anyways. I don't think I have anything else to add there. other than every time they get in this situation where it's like they gotta figure out a way to get back into the game, to get the things tied up, to get into the next period coming ahead or whatever else like that. Finding the inner turmoil or the inner fortitude and stuff like that to rise above. I mean, every time they're faced with a challenge like this and they come through, that's more and more experience that they need. So, can't complain. And I really feel bad about anyone who's not enjoying this right now because they're like, oh, regular season doesn't even matter. Well, okay, you're missing out, though. You're missing out. It's a fun season. It's a fun season, man. So I'm glad I'm here, and I'm glad you are all here, too. All right? I'm glad everybody else is here having a good time. All right, so let's get into the chat then, all right? Let's see what I'm missing. Did I miss anything, folks? Okay? What are we saying?